welcome to the MOOBment. I'm the creator of the MOOBment and the host of the show, Laurie Ann, and I'm so glad you're here with us today. Today's show is one that's been long coming here. I get a lot of MOOB mail specifically about happy mom, happy family, happy boys, and how in the world are we ever going to find some time for ourselves? I don't know the answer to that question. And I'm at a point in my life now where I'm finally finding some time for myself since my boys are grown. And it feels very foreign and very weird. And I feel like I should be doing something for somebody else every minute of the day. And I realize that's because I spent most of my life doing that. So we have a special guest with us here today who's going to try to help us navigate all through that and try to have many of our younger moves out there not wait as long as I did to take some good care of themselves while still taking care of their families. One moob had actually said to me that self-care for mothers of only boys is not about finding balance. It's truly only about finding 5 minutes of uninterrupted time and not using that time to fold and do laundry. So with that in mind, I'm going to welcome Abbey Hansen. Welcome to our show, Abbey.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Well, we are so glad to have you here, and we cannot wait to hear all the words of wisdom that you have for us. Let me tell our listeners here that Abbey is a professionally trained fitness expert who focuses on realistic, sustainable health. And she also has a very impressive certification from the National Academy of Sports Medicine. And Abbey, I'm just going to ask you to then take it from there. Let us know a little bit more about you, your background, and let's clue everybody in about those wonderful boys of yours, because in fact, Abbey is, like many of us listening, a mother of only boys.
All right. Thank you. I think I stumbled into the whole self-care thing. I have 3 boys, 15, 13, and 11. And when I had my 13-year-old, he was actually born without his left hand. So that was something that kind of intrigued me. How do I teach him to work out, to do sports, to do all of that? And so when he was about 1 year old, I actually became very, very passionate about working on myself, incorporating movement with him so I could see how he could move his body. And then, it just became routine to me. It was something that I started to schedule in my day. And I know you were talking about how some people talk about just taking 5 minutes. That really is like the most important thing, is even pulling 5 minutes aside. I think a lot of us, I think especially moms, we think that we have to have 30 minutes or 45 minutes, or we have to have this extravagant plan. And it really is just pulling 5 minutes, especially with boys, because it's so chaotic.
I find it interesting that you actually started all of this in helping your son and in doing that, because again, as moms, that's what we do. So what does self-care actually and realistically look like when you're the mother of boys, you have a chaotic, crazy household? What's self-care? What do you mean by, what do we mean by that? What should we be striving for?
I think it really is taking 5 minute increments throughout the day. I would consider myself a perfectionist. I actually run a residential cleaning business, so I would consider myself slightly like OCD. And I think for me, it was really finding 5 minutes of time for everything. I am a self-help junkie. I love to read books. So finding 5 minutes of time to do that, whether or not I'm downloading on my phone. I mean, I would remember falling asleep reading on my phone just to get that in. Same thing with the 5 minutes of time. Like, how do I take them to the park and let them play? And, I'm doing some kind of body workout. I don't know about other parks, but ours actually, all the parks set up here have like ellipticals, chest presses. Like, it's so crazy. But just finding time to incorporate things while I'm still keeping them busy.
Yeah. I think if we think about it in terms of 5 minutes here and there, it sounds much more manageable. So I think that's really good advice. And I actually subscribe by that as well. Like sometimes you think, okay, if I can't get to the gym for an hour, it's just not worth it. Why go at all? But sometimes, that 5 or 10 minutes, it makes you feel better and you just need that mental escape, I guess. So I totally agree with that. What do you think the biggest mistakes are that moms make when they're trying to get back into shape?
I think they have too many expectations. I think we need to keep it extremely simple. I think something that has helped me, also because I am a single mom, my kids are a little bit older, but just communicating to them too, like, I need to take this time so that I can be better for you guys. And they see that. So, I mean, there are so many times when they come home and they're like, have you done your workout yet? Are you going to go downstairs to the gym? And they'll ask me, but I think communicating that. And then when they start to see that you're happier, and I think it's also important to have communication. Like we will have conversations about like, look how far I've come, or I can do this. Like, we'll do like push up like contests with my kids, or right now we're really focused on like pull ups. But we'll do stuff like that. And so they see that I'm making it fun and they're like, she's more enjoyable when she comes back replenished.
Yeah. And it's also like I always constantly say, do as I do kind of thing. So by you being the role model and emulating that your health and your well-being matters, you're kind of telling them without saying it that theirs matters as well. And that definitely helps them. And I think it may help the moms to think, okay, yeah, I'm doing this for myself, but as a role model, I'm also doing it for them.
Yeah, I would say that that's probably something that I live by. It's funny because I grew up in retail and I had a boss that would say, "Do as I say, not as I do." And I feel like,
Mhm.
I learned that from my mom as well. She'd be like, "Well, I told you not to do this, so don't do it." But I've always taken it to the opposite. My kids are not going to do what I say. They're going to do what I do. And it's
Yeah.
very obvious.
Yeah. I think they watch and they see everything. And even from a very young age, they're watching and they're listening. And when they see you taking care of yourself, it's a good thing. How are your boys as far as their fitness? I mean, are they conscious of it? Are they physically fit?
So my youngest is probably the one I struggle with the most. But I did just sign him up in wrestling just to kind of get him into something that he would like. He doesn't like soccer, baseball, like any of the fast sports. So I got him into
Yes.
wrestling. Um, but it's actually been really fun. My oldest, who's 15, a lot of his friends are in sports, and he's actually asked me, like, hey, I've set a goal of working out for 30 minutes a day. Can you take me to the gym? And even when he's at his dad's house, he'll call me and he'll say, hey, can you pick me up? Can we go to the gym? So that's been really fun. Um, Several years back, I read this book called Five Love Languages for Your Children, and
Wait,
and his
okay.
is quality of time. So it ties in perfectly for him. It was like, can I work out, but can I work out with you? And so for me, and I kind of hold on to their love language, and I incorporate that into my time with them. But his was quality of time, and so yeah, I mean, at least 5 days a week, we go to the gym and we work out together.
I think so many, we have this Beyond the Ball Field series here, and many of our listeners know that we look for other activities besides sports to connect with their kids, because sometimes moms aren't so into sports, or some of the boys are not so into sports. Um, Anything that you can do, if it's going to the gym, whatever it is, to connect with your sons and talk about like continuing through life kind of thing, that can be your thing with them forever. I mean, mom, what'd you do for your workout? What are you doing to change it up? Asking for different advice on how to get stronger. What a great thing. I mean, I'm sure there are many listeners out there who, they feel maybe selfish by taking their gym time. But if you look at it from what you just said, you're kind of doing it for them also. Maybe it makes us feel like it's justified to do it and take that time for ourselves.
And I think if you truly feel like it's selfish, incorporate, I mean, even if it's going for a walk, hey, let's go for a walk together. And then once you've created that habit, like, hey, I've walked, and then you know, and to be realistic, your kids are going to fall off. They're not going to want to go for the walk, but they're going to see that you've done that every day. And you're going to say, hey, I'm going for a walk. Do you want to come? And you're still going. So whether or not they've given up, because I can tell you my kids have like, quit back and forth. Uh, they're going to see that you're still doing it, and you should still keep that promise to yourself. Yes, you incorporate them, but once they're like, no, I'm going to stay home, or they get older and they want to do something else, keep that, because it isn't selfish, and your kids are going to see that it's not selfish.
Right. So keep the routine, keep to it, and eventually they're going to realize, hey, this must be something really important to her, because she's going to just keep going whether we go or not. So do as I do again. Here we're back to that again. Here we go.
Yes.
Um self-care, is it mental, physical, or both?
I would almost fight anybody that is mental first, always mental. Because especially as a mom, because in your head, and I'm sure you can relate, in your head, you've got about 100 things that you want to be doing right now that need to get done, or places that you need to go.
Right.
So it's 100% mental to fight for that time.
Okay. And so the physical will follow the mental?
I think so. Absolutely. I would say mental first, because you are juggling and battling a lot of thoughts in your head. Like, I could be doing this instead. I could be doing this instead. My kids take priority over me, which, to an extent, yes, but you should take priority, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of somebody else. But then if someone is looking to lose weight or to get into shape, your body does follow. And then you're like, okay, my mind, is starting to prioritize this. My body's starting to feel good. Like, this is something I need to keep doing.
Yeah. Some of our listeners out there, we have mothers of only boys who are younger, older. Your kids seem to be like right in the middle at those teen years. What do you suggest, and maybe giving some thought to, especially the moms who have little ones, who still need a lot of caretaking? If you had to pick one small habit to subscribe to and stick to that you think would make the most impact or difference for moms like that, what would you say?
I would still say movement. I would say probably prioritizing movement, whether or not, like, I am a huge scheduler. So I have my Google Calendar and I have it scheduled in, and whether or not it's 5 minutes or whether or not it pops up, because that alarm goes off, you see it, you either move it to when you can do it or you don't. But I would also, and this is kind of hard to save moms with little ones because you don't get the best sleep, but can you get up 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes before everybody else, just to have peace and quiet? I really truly think that if you can sit by yourself for 5 minutes and have peace and quiet, like, it really changes the trajectory of your day.
What about the other side of health and well-being, which is nutrition? How important, I know how hard it is sometimes getting our kids to eat well. They say you are what you eat. Is that really true?
I think nutrition is incredibly important. Um, my kids, I will say, do not eat perfect or anywhere close. I do meal prep though, so sometimes I honestly wish my kids would just eat cereal in the morning. And if you're out there and your kids eat cereal, you're probably lucky, because I feel like some mornings I'm running around like crazy. But sometimes when I'm trying to get them more protein or something healthier, especially because they're older, I I meal prep their foods at night for the morning. So if they're having eggs, like, I'll make their eggs the night before or their pancakes the night before. Um, but something that I've noticed in my kids is I am consistent with my meal plan. So I eat the same thing: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Um, they'll try it. I'll offer them to try it. But I think something that we talk about, and I tell my kids this all the time, I want you to enjoy your childhood. So if it's eating candy or a snack like that, that's absolutely fine. But I also want you to know how is your body feeling. And my youngest, who's 11, will say things like, I ate this and now I don't feel so good. And so I think just for them, identifying that that's not what's fueling my body. Like, yes, I like it, and that's a sometime thing. I can have that sometimes, but I know that that doesn't make me feel good. So I don't completely ban it or shut it down. I let them have it, but we do talk about, like, when he's like, oh, I don't want to eat dinner, or, oh, I don't feel good. Why do you think you don't feel good?
Right. And that applies to us as well. If you overeat or you eat the wrong thing, you just feel miserable and it really weighs you down. So what do you mentioned eggs, pancakes. I mean, that's the boys, and that's great, and that's important. I want to talk about that too. What about for you, for yourself? Do you eat what they're eating? Do you meal prep for yourself? Do you, how do you adjust for that?
I I meal prep separately for myself. I'm a creature of habit. I eat the same thing every single day. So every morning I have a protein yogurt bowl. It's Greek yogurt, protein powder, granola, and fruit. And I actually look forward to that every single day. But that's about 40 to 50 grams of protein. So I think that's another thing, is that the more protein you have, the more energy you're going to have. So if you're struggling with that. And then my dinner is pretty much the same thing. I'll do like a chicken or beef. And, sometimes when I'm making my kids hamburgers, I'll make, my meat on the side. Or if they're having tacos, I'll make my meat on the side and I'll have it like prepped and ready to go. I absolutely can't stand cooking though. And I recently just got my 13-year-old to offer to help cook. So it's been really great.
Well, that's a good thing. We did do this Beyond the Ball Field series with a company called Radish Kids. I'm going to clue you in on that. Our listeners will know we just gave away some cooking kits from them. This is a really fantastic company, and they send you cooking kits every month. And when you subscribe, and we actually have a discount code for our listeners with discount code MOOB, MOOB, you get a nice discount off of the subscription. And they send it to you, and you go and buy some basic ingredients, or you Instacart them over, whatever it is, and you have like these great meals. And it really promotes cooking with your kids, and you don't have to be like a cook in order to, have that time with them, connecting in the kitchen and doing that and doing something healthy, which is really good. And I'm laughing because my husband makes fun of me. My kids make fun of me. I am a creature of habit like you. I could eat the same meals. I get up and have my cottage cheese and my fruit and granola every single morning. It's, a little protein pat. It's the same exact thing. So I guess not everybody's like that. But I'm the same way as you.
I always look at it because people do, of course you get people that laugh at you, but it's like, when I go to McDonald's, I haven't been forever, but I get the same thing every time. So if you could look at it that way, like when you go to places, you know that you always gravitate to those same things.
Right.
Like it's the same way, just every day.
It's true. It's true. So before we move on to our MOOB mail, because I asked for some specific MOOB mail for you about self-care and what some moms are hoping or what they strive for and how they feel about their possible lack of self-care. So we'll go through that. But is there anything you can leave us and leave the moms out there? Any words of advice, any words of wisdom, of a couple of things that they maybe could start doing tomorrow that will make a difference, or how they should think about prioritizing their own selves for the benefit of their family? Anything specific given your training?
So I would say, so this isn't habit, so I'll give habit in a second, but I think two things. The first thing that you've already touched on is lead by example always. You can talk till you're blue in the face, but always lead by example. You can't expect them to do something that you're not willing to do, and you can't expect them to enjoy it if you don't enjoy it. So find something that you enjoy and do it so that they see that you enjoy it. And the second one would be communication. I think I fought tooth and nail to get communication with my kids. And we've gone on like one-on-one dates. That's something I prioritize just to keep communication open. So, if I need to go to the gym longer, or, hey, it's been a really long day, I need to step out. They understand that because we've had that communication. The second thing I would say, and I know that not everybody is like this, but find some kind of way to track or calendarize or plan it. Give yourself this time. If you do not plan it, it does not get done. So I would say the second you're listening to this, grab your Google Calendar or whatever. My sister sets alarms in her phone instead of the calendar, but set something, like give yourself, even if it's just, I'm giving myself 5 minutes, and you don't even have to do anything, but whether or not you just set right now, 5 minutes, you acknowledge that you have that 5 minutes, go sit somewhere, even if you're not doing any activity, because then you're at least creating the habit that I gave myself 5 minutes right now, I'm taking 5 minutes. And then maybe down the road, I'm going to do 5 minutes of weights or something like that. But even right now, just schedule yourself 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be anything but 5 minutes.
Yeah, I hear you. I think everybody listening can afford themselves 5 minutes, right? I mean, that's not too much to ask. Like you say, either wake up
Absolutely.
5 minutes earlier, or we don't want to just plop them in front of the TV or whatever. I'll get a million bad comments if I suggest that. And there are very good reason. But sometimes you just need to keep your kids busy for a little bit to just take care of yourself. And I think we feel guilty when we do that. And I don't know how you alleviate that guilt, I guess, by looking at it and saying you're doing it for them as well as you, because I think we feel guilty. I don't know why that is.
I feel like, I mean, and I see that too. And I think when you're in the trenches, you don't see it, because I'm going to tell you, there were several times that my kids had a tablet when I was working out or on their phones. But the older they get, and the older they get, and the more they see, the less they're on their phone, or they're putting it down, and they're wanting to do these things because they've seen that it's been a priority. So I think, and it's priceless. It's not selfish. It's priceless. Giving yourself that time. And I mean, just think about how stressful your day is. If you take 5 minutes versus continuing on with your stress, your family is going to be happier.
Yeah. And I love what you said about communication, because if you just sort of leave the room and they don't really know why or what, whatever, that it makes it harder. And I think if you say, hey, you know what? And even at a young age, understand, they understand timeout or whatever it is. Mom needs 5 minutes. I need that for myself. And sometimes we all need to take a breath. So I think hopefully everybody's listening and everybody will try to look at it from a standpoint where taking care of yourself should take priority for everybody's sake. And on the flip side, also, if there is somebody else in your home, whether it's a husband, a nanny, a mom, a mother-in-law, a sister-in-law, anybody that can kind of help you out, it's really okay to ask for help and to lean on somebody else and have somebody else take over. If you have an infant and you need, I know, as like the mother-in-law, your mother-in-law is probably out there and your mother's probably out there just wanting more time with that child. So it's really not a failure on your part. It's okay to say, hey, can you come over for 15 minutes? Or I want to go to the gym for a half an hour, or I want to just sit in my quiet car alone. I think there are people there that can help when we ask for help.
I would agree. I just think that moms are, I don't know, we're stubborn. We don't want to ask for help. But I mean, I absolutely take the help.
Take the help. Ask for the help. Take the help. For sure.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, this has been really, really helpful, I know, to me. So hopefully that means to all the moms out there. We have active boys that are wonderful and a joy in our lives. And like you say, that mother-son bonding and relationship is just something special. And they are watching us. They're watching what we do. And so if we can kind of mirror some, self-care and some things for them to take with them, do as I do, we're doing our job even better. So that's great. And I really appreciate you being here and offering all of that up. And with that, we are going to move on, or I should say move on, to our MOOB Mail segment. And this MOOB Mail is from a young woman named Megan.
Oh boy, it's that time. Ooh, mail's here. Your voice meets mine. From your heart straight to our trail. Let's open up that MOOB mail.
Okay, so Megan writes, hi, Laurie Ann. You asked about commenting on self-care, which I did. So here is my question. This is true, so please don't laugh. I cannot even go to the bathroom without someone knocking, yelling, or bleeding. So I'm just wondering, with all these boys in my house and my crazy life, when exactly am I supposed to have a self-care routine? P.S. I love the show and I look forward to a new show every Tuesday. Thank you. Okay, so thank you, Megan. That was very nice and complimentary. We appreciate it here at the MOOBment. And I'm going to hand this off to Abby, who is the expert here. So when is Megan exactly supposed to have a self-care routine, and what does that even mean, routine?
Okay, so first of all, bless you. I remember those days. I like to remind my kids of those days when they would never leave me alone in the bathroom. Um, I I think right now saying routine is something you need to just throw out. Honestly, I would say, how can you get 5 minutes to yourself? I really would start very, very small. And I don't know how old your kids are, but they sound very young if they're following you everywhere. But I would say 5 minutes. Where can you get 5 minutes of time? Is it when they go to bed and you can have 5 extra minutes? Is it before they wake up that you have 5 extra minutes? And I promise it's following through to yourself, and then you're going to start getting the confidence, and you're going to start saying, oh my gosh, I can create 5 more minutes, because it really is a trajectory. Once you start to, if it's 5 minutes of peace and quiet, or 5 minutes of meditating, or 5 minutes of reading, or 5 minutes of working out, or going for a walk. I mean, sometimes I walk around my house. I can't leave. I walk around my house. Whether or not it's 5 minutes of that, you're going to start to feel better. And then you're going to start to say, okay, I actually think I can get away with taking 5 more minutes at this time of the day. But I would honestly start with, right now, what does your day look like? Where can you take 5 minutes? Like, be realistic with yourself. But
Yeah,
I would not aim for a routine. If you have that much, I mean, if your kids are right there with you 24/7, I wouldn't aim for a routine at all.
I mean, that's interesting. You picked up on that word routine, and I hear you and I agree with you 100%. And sometimes we set ourselves up for failure. So if you're like thinking, okay, I have to have a routine. If I skip a day, forget it. They'll throw the whole thing out the window. So you're right. If you're just looking for that 5 minutes, and that's so doable, it just kind of helps you to succeed, I guess, because you're not like biting
Yeah,
off
and
more than
I
you can
mean,
chew.
and we're in a world where we have so much access to social media, and everyone's, painting this picture that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And so, I mean, it really is I would not even focus on routine. I would focus on 5 minutes. Like, what do you want to accomplish in 5 minutes? If you had the ability to have 5 minutes by yourself, what do you want to get done? And then
Yep.
that would be my expectation for myself.
So I think, in summing up today, Abby, you've been so helpful. I think we're leaving everybody out there with the idea that they can take 5 minutes or an extra 5 minutes or whatever it is for themselves, and it's going to make a huge difference. So I think that's great advice. I'd love to hear back from listeners. Let's put a challenge out there, Abby. Let's say
Okay.
we challenge everybody to take 5 minutes a day for the next week. And if you skip a day because you never get to your 5 minutes, that's okay. Keep going. Keep going. And I really would love to hear back. And we're going to share that information with Abby too. And let us know how that's working for you. Let us know if biting off that small little piece of it is making a difference, and maybe the 5 will turn into 10. And even if it doesn't, that's okay. Is it helping you mentally? Is it helping you physically? Is it helping with your children? Do you feel better about yourself, setting a good example? I think that was great advice. So I appreciate it. I hope everybody else does too. Abby, where can people get in touch with you? Where can they find out more about you? Where can they follow you on the socials? Tell us all about Abby.
Well, I am probably 99% just on Instagram, and it's just Abbey Hands, ABBEYHANS.
Do you put your tips and your information on your Instagram account? I know you have some really great reels out there I've seen.
I try to be real based off of messages I get and struggles that people have. I try to keep it real, but I also pride myself on answering messages and being authentic.
Well, we really appreciate that. And we thank you for being here and giving us your time and your wisdom today. I appreciate it. I know all the other listeners appreciate it as well. And I just wanted to tell our listeners that if you enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed hearing Abby, please follow us on our socials, on Instagram, on Facebook at the MOOBment, MOOB as in boy, MENT. And if you can follow and subscribe to the MOOBment podcast And also give us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it because it really does help the movement grow, and that helps our community. And we appreciate it and send you our love and support for taking that extra minute of your day. And maybe it shouldn't cut into your 5 minutes, but give us another minute to just rate and review us, and we would appreciate it. Thank you for the MOOB mail. Thank you for responding to my call for questions specifically about self-care, and you should keep them coming. I also wanted to let everybody know that we do have an active website, and we have an episodes page where you'll be able to see a little bit more about each guest, including Abby, and how to get in contact with them. So go to our website, www.themoobment.com, and there's also a listen page on the website where you can listen directly to every episode of our podcast, as well as access the YouTube if you'd like to watch us on YouTube. You can also listen, obviously, on Apple Podcasts, like some of you are doing right now, and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We are there and available. So I am going to sign off by just telling everybody, reminding everybody, as I do at the end of every show, to hug your boys, trust your instincts, and remember that we're all boy moms, and those who love us belong is right here.
Oh boy, that's it for today. Oh boy, you made it all the way. Oh boy, glad you came to stay. We'll do it again on another day.